Natasha and thank you so much for joining me today. Well, I was sitting staring at a blank card today and wondering just what I should do. There are definitely days when I have inspiration pouring out and then other days where I seem to lack some, and who knows why, but then I was flicking through some of the products that I have and some things that are, a little bit newer to my stash and thinking, right, if I get them, I need to use them. And so I was flicking through and something caught my eye. And this is one of the most obvious things that even I sometimes forget to do. But I was inspired by the packaging. Now, as I said, this caught my eye. The front is pretty plain, but this gorgeous picture on the back, which is obviously showing what the stencil can create, but I was like, look at that pattern. It's almost like a trick of the eye, like an illusion. I don't know. And I was looking at it closely. You have to kind of follow them to see that there's really kind of only 3 colors used there. Of course, I'm talking about the rays rather than the purple down the bottom. But I was thinking, that's really cool. So I dive into the stencil, and it's okay to be inspired by someone else's work that you see or the packaging. That's exactly why the ideas are there. And that is exactly when you might Google a particular product. If you've got it and you're wondering for ideas, then you can see some of those ideas. And it doesn't necessarily mean that you have to go exactly down that route. You can, do whatever. You can take some of it, leave some of it. There are 3 stencils in this pack. There are the gorgeous clouds and the bottom part there, which I think could be used to also create a moon, or even like an earth or a snowbank or something like that. I mean, there could be lots of things. But I am focusing on the stencil rays for this one. There are also the masks in here, which is fantastic, especially because, you're literally going to maybe stencil them and then you can mask them to stencil over top. So I love that the company has included the masks. I'm not going to be using those today. I am just really inspired by those rays in the background. And then I think that is going to create a funky kind of background for this gorgeous older lady stamp that I have, and I love her. So I'm going to use her today. Let's create the background. I am getting out 3 colors. Really, there's just a yellow, a pink, and a blue. So all primary colors. They're all going to mix well together. I'm using oxides. I have some Salty Ocean, picked raspberry, and mustard seed. Now I'm actually going to swap out the mustard seed in just a minute for some squeezed lemonade. So I decided to go slightly lighter. And then I also actually end up swapping out the Salty Ocean for, I think, Tumble Glass. So same primary colors, but I'm just going to go the lighter version of them. And here are the 2 stencils. Of course, when these layer up on top of each other, they are going to make the complete picture. I am going to use some mint tape on the sides just to hold down the stencil, and this is directly onto my card base. So all I'm going to do here, and this just creates such a cool effect, and yet it's so simple. Pink up one side, yellow up the other side, meet in the middle to make an orange. I'm using some finger daubers, which I just have a whole set of for my oxides. I'm not too specific about what I use, which one I use for which color, but I just go roughly and it evens out. And then I am going to rub over top of the stencil with a dry paper towel just to get the ink off the top there. And this may not look like perfect blending at the moment, but actually it's going to work out really well. This is really fun. I went ahead and created more of these after I was finished because I really love the look. I'm going to pop the other stencil. It rests right on top again, reuse that same mint tape. And now I'm going to do kind of the opposite. So this time I'm going to use the yellow and the blue, but the yellow will be used on the right-hand side instead of the left-hand side. Then, as I mentioned, I switched out the Tumble Glass for the Salty Ocean, just a little bit lighter, and some coming in from the left-hand side, and then those ones in the middle is where I'm going to meet. And so I use the Squeeze Lemonade again from the right-hand side, and of course when these 2 primary colors connect, they are going to make a green shade. And so it doesn't have to be perfect. Honestly, this really took me a very short amount of time to create this background, and I'm grateful for the inspiration because this is where I kind of hopped off onto my own direction and thought of what I could put on here and created this gorgeous background. I think the space down the bottom lends itself well to a sentiment, so I'm not going to color that at all. I'm going to leave it plain and simple, and I think we've done a pretty good job of recreating that, and it was so simple, and yet it's very eye-catching. I do have a little, I'm not sure, a little bit of ink that's gone in the wrong place, but you know, we'll cover that up, we'll figure it out, we'll make it work. And this is the gorgeous Moonstruck from All and Create. Now, these lovely ladies are so funny. There are a whole series of them, and I'm tempted to get one or two more because I have found that these cards are very popular. When people are coming to choose come and get cards out of my stash, they also come with some funny, punny sort of sentiments as well, and I think that also is helps out that. Now this here, I took this die, but I actually die cut out that piece of paper to get a skinnier rectangle. So I die cut it out once, then shifted the rectangle across and die cut it out again just to get a taller, skinnier rectangle to fit this gorgeous lady. Then I don't want the stamp to go up above where the stitching is on the outside of this die here. It actually has a very fine little scallop around the outside as well. So I add some mint tape up the top just to catch the very top of this gorgeous lady's hair. And I'm just going to draw it in a little bit shorter, I guess, you know, so that she fits nicely within the rectangle there. Then I'm going to emboss this with some clear embossing powder. This is just because I'm going to colour her. I like the little bit of shine that it gives, and it means that I can't smudge any of that black ink as well. I stamped this in the VersaFine Onyx black ink. It's a pigment ink, which means that it's really good to emboss because it stays wet a little bit longer. Now I'm going to use some Spectrum Noir markers to colour this gorgeous lady. I've used her in a few videos before, and I will link this. As I said, there's about 4 or 5 maybe different types. There's a couple of this lady, but also different ladies that look different to her, but you know, same style, that are absolutely gorgeous. I think they're absolutely stunning, and so I love the idea of them. I colour in her here and just take some inspiration again from the packaging. I'm going to go with a blue dress for this lady just because that's going to stand out with those beautiful bright colors. I want her to be bright, and you know, I can just see this confident, gorgeous lady standing there, and so I want her to match with those beautiful, bright, bold colors that we have put in the background too. So I do a little bit of coloring. These are the alcohol markers, Spectrum Noir alcohol markers, and there are 3 markers in each pen. So I'm actually only using 1 pen to do her blue dress, and it just makes life really easy because I can do all of that shading without having to think about which colors go together. I give her lips, earrings, and necklace are all going to be the same color as well. And of course her shoes are going to match her dress as well as her earrings. Then I'm going to just put a bit of a pattern on here. You could use a stencil. You can find a smaller stamp. Those little images that comes in stamp sets are great for this. I do a little bit of rough masking around the outside of her dress, and then I'm going to use the Salty Ocean Distress Oxide. This is a tiny little stamp from the Creative Expressions Sending Sunshine. It's actually little berries, but I'm just going to stamp it on because it's a smaller print or pattern. As I said, a stencil would work too, and just adding some little of those berries, but they kind of almost look like dots or something floral, I guess, a little bit of fauna, and that just adds a little bit more to her dress. And then this is our gorgeous lady ready to go. As I mentioned, the stamp set with this lady does come with some funny, punny sentiments. But for this one, I had another one in mind that I thought I could use as well. At this point, I am going to pop my card base, which is what I directly did the colouring onto, into a stamping platform. I use the Altenew sticky mat. I think it's meant for their stamp wheel, but I cut it down and it fits perfectly into all of my stamping platforms, and it sticks by itself. So I absolutely love that. I definitely would purchase this again, even though I've had to cut it down a little bit. This is the Rock On Laugh Lines from Art Impressions, and as I said, there's some really, really good, clever sentiments in here, so I'm going to use one of those to go down the bottom here, and then my lovely lady will go in the center. And you could use the sentiments that come in the package, that would be just fine, but I'm going to pop one here, and then I'm actually going to pop one in the inside as well. The front one is going to say, I'm not aging, I'm appreciating. And so I'm going to pop that one down the bottom there. And then this is going to be a birthday card for me that I'm going to give away. And so I will stamp an actual happy birthday one in the center here. This one is going to be the Gina K Fancy Phrases, just a gorgeous little sort of scripty happy birthday, smaller stamp set which always brings a good price point with it, and this one is going to go in the center. I'm using my stamp platform because at this point I've put in, a medium amount of work into the front, and it would be a shame to have to start over there. So a stamping platform helps me out, but absolutely an acrylic block obviously works just perfect. So I've got the front and the center there, and now it's really just a matter of putting everything together. Now I have these sequins as well, and I think there are such a range in here. It's sort of like a rainbow. It reminded me exactly of the background that we have created. So I am going to add that little sparkly shiny element in a couple of different ways. I think our focal point covers just a little bit of the background, but still enough of the background scene to get a really good feel for it, and I still think it looks stunning. This covers up my little boo that I had in the background with the ink as well, but look how cool that looks, and all from the inspiration from that package. So pop this lady down, then as I said, adding a little bit of sparkle. I'm going to add some some sequins, and I'm also going to add a little bit of the Stickles diamond. I'm going to add that onto her dress and cover her dress in it. It's really hard to pick up on camera, but I actually don't own any of the Stickles except for the one called Diamond, I think it is. As per usual, I will have all of these supplies linked down in the description box below this video if you'd like to take a look or just even check them out as to what we've used, see what you've got that could be similar. And also, if you would like to post your pictures, if you've been inspired by this video or any others, then you can come over. We've got a fantastic big group of supportive, like-minded people called Come Crafting with Natasha. So search that on Facebook and you will find it. There's also a link down below as well if you'd like to just click that link and it takes you straight to it. Otherwise, you're welcome to send me some snail mail. I love to get snail mail, and checking my P.O Box is one of my favorite times of the week. So the address, if you'd like to send me that, is down there as well. I also have a website. You can come over and see me over there if you'd like some extra Natasha content that is only available on the website, and I have card classes as well that you can take over there. That is at natashafootecreative.com, and I can either see you there or I will see you in the next